Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. Welcome to the next part of my Let's Play through Soul Sacrifice Delta. For this episode, I just got done with a grinding episode, which you may or may have not seen. If you're interested in that type of content, please go check it out. It'll be in the playlist for this one. What a good point of advice. Some people ask, what is the right progression to get through the story? And I always tell people, and this is regardless of the game, and I wish some games would actually show it, but there is a difficulty rating that they show you, which is really nice. So this is showing that this is a 5-star difficulty. So we could just go into it if we want to. That being said, if we go to the Sorceress Deeds, while these may not be required, they certainly are a great interest in doing the game. In fact, I would call them required. And if we go over to Avalon, you'll notice that we've unlocked another episode called Child of a Monster, which is following Radux. And this is only a level 2 difficulty, so we'll breeze through that one really fast and just enjoy the story. Sanctuarium, we have the Turncoat Assassin has unlocked. This is a level 4 difficulty, so this naturally would be the next thing that we would want to do. And this guy is super popular. He reminds me of Garrus from Mass Effect, in a way. Just a beloved character. And if we go over to Grim, remember this was added for Delta, so this is mostly post-game stuff. This one jumps all the way up to level 8 star difficulty, so Grim is meant to be done a little bit later, and these ones aren't even unlocked yet. So, today we're going to do a double episode. I'm going to try to do these more often because as we get through the game, I'll be grinding and getting more powerful, so hunts will go by faster. And also, we won't be going through as much lore about the monsters because once we get through most of them, we'll get through most of them. So, let's start out with Avalon because that's going to be a really fast one, and it's probably going to be mostly a listening experience, actually, because it's such an easy quest. And then we'll go ahead and hit Sanctuarium, and the next episode we'll be able to jump right back into the story of Magusar. One thing I want to note here, only because it's become a topic and it cost me a good pretty amount of money. If you buy the game digitally, which is your only choice outside of Asia Pacific, Southeast Asia, it was only ever sold digital, need to have the online battle pass. It's something that comes free with the digital version. It's not an additional purchase. It's something they did back in the day to ensure that if you bought a used copy, that the developer, publisher can still get some money by requiring you to have the activation code that came with the game. So it was essentially a free item, but if you bought it used, you'd have to pay $10 for that item. Actually, I think Mass Effect 2 did that as well. But the problem is that the code for the game points to a very specific store. You'd think that all PSN stores are the same, but they're not. And this is the same thing with Nintendo, where if you buy, let's say, a US version, maybe it's priced ridiculous in your country, or maybe you used to live there and your account is US. I don't know. If you try to buy it from there, probably due to some weird laws, the free download for the download pass is a separate purchase. I say purchase, but I mean like it's a free purchase, at least as far as I'm aware. It's not listed on the store as far as I'm aware, but then I don't have a US account, so I don't know. But when you go to download it, it will be asking you for a credit card, which they're removing at the end of this month. So it'll be interesting to see how this changes. And apparently you can't download it unless you have a credit card. So obviously the best way to play this game is to buy digitally for Europe. Go ahead and make a European account. And by digital Europe, it's all packaged into one, just like Japan. So the online battle pass is downloaded along with the game, and you don't have to do anything separate. No need for credit cards. You can just use the wallet. That being said, be careful about the European region. For example, I made a PSN account with this save for UK, for England. That's like region 2, I think. Europe has several different regions, and their stores are different. So when I tried to use that with the physical copy of the English game, which was region 3, which was Hong Kong, I think, like Southeast Asia, it threw up a bunch of errors. And that's because my PSN account was not region 3. So just make sure that you're buying from the same region. If you're not buying anything, I would recommend European version. Just be careful about where you're buying. And hopefully that solves that problem. Anyways, for you, those of you who are caught with a weird loop where you bought the US version and you don't know how to get the additional download, I apologize, and I will try to find some workarounds. But I think we're going to have to wait until the end of the month when they remove credit cards and see what happens. If they make it just impossible to get the online pass, that will be unforgivable. But then again, this is Sony, so I have no faith in them. But hopefully they'll switch it around so that you can start purchasing stuff with the wallet that once required a credit card. Anyways, one of the reasons why I mentioned that only is because the additional packs, part of that online pass, gives you the collaboration quests, which I did in my previous video, which you don't have to watch if you don't want to. It was a grinding video where me just breaking them to level 4 or 5 difficulty, I was able to beat the 9-star Chthonian Fiend and get a very, very powerful spell. So we're going to be able to blow through probably quite a bit today. Anyways, that is way more talking about the subject than I thought I would do, but I wanted to be thorough because I know that these are niche videos. They're only going to be watched by those who really care and want to know about this game, whether it's to play it or for the story. So hopefully you guys appreciate it, and I would love any additional feedback from any of your experiences because I only know what I've personally experienced. Okay. That's a lot of blabbing. Let's jump in to Avalon Allies, Child of a Monster, Poison Ivy Orc. Just so you know, I did read the story on the cats. I asked people on Twitter. I had forgotten to do it. I read it in video 7.1, which was my second grind session. So you can jump in there, and there is a timestamp where you can jump and see the story on the orcs or the cats, which is very cool. Okay, so let's jump in.
By the time I noticed him, he was nearly upon me, walking in my shadow.
We go together.
I took one look at his right arm and knew he was a sorcerer. He spoke as if he had only just learned to. He called himself Radux.
We hunt same monster.
Apparently he sought the same beast as I. He gazed at me with a simple innocence and spoke again.
We go together.
Okay. I like how the author is so open-minded throughout all these stories. Like, he understands everyone has different circumstances. He's not quick to judge. And I think that's why people are so open to him. Is because he's open to them. It's a good life lesson. Okay, let's just go in and beat up some cats. Orcs. His right arm has taken on an eerie appearance. It is covered in sinewy roots that protrude from beneath his skin. He must be paying the price for something, but what? I don't know.
Time for fight.
That's good English if I've ever heard it. Time for fight. He's ripped. You see the muscles on that man? Sheesh. I want to say boy, but he's not really a boy.
Must kill monsters.
Okay, check out this new spell I got.
You kill it now?
This is just going to wreck house. Notice that my life does go down when I use it though. It's because it's a blood spell.
Okay.
But this is one that has like super high damage output, but low health drain. I should probably level up a little bit as well. Although I'm not getting a whole bunch of EXP at this point. I should probably use rumors that I have.
You
We kill it now? Yes, you may. If you want. So we're running a little bit lower on health. I think we could still push it through.
Job done.
But just to be absolutely sure, let's go ahead and recover some health. Sanctuarium, because it has such high defense, I don't believe it has a way to naturally heal health. I think you have to bring either heal spells or trees and stuff like that, which is fine.
Must
It's just game balancing things.
monsters.
But I will say that the game is heavily favoring blood builds. Blood builds are just so good for the very end game content that you'll notice that they are very popular if you go onto forums online and try to find builds. But play whatever you want. Honestly, I keep swapping different builds between factions, between weapon types, and that is part of the fun of the game. It's like Monster Hunter in that regard. Okay, me and the boy have done the deed. We have killed the orcs. Good for us. Let's see the conclusion of this episode. Oh, we've already earned him as an NPC. Great.
I felt strange after observing the way Radux fought. It's difficult to explain. But there's certainly something that sets him apart from us. Something missing. And there was another thing. He kept scratching his chest. Blood kept dripping from it.
I am sick.
That was his only answer. When asked about the incessant scratching. Soon, it occurred to me. This was no ordinary sickness. And so I asked him, "When did you first get sick?"
After Mother, I sacrifice her.
But it was all matter of fact for Radux.
She try kill me. So I kill her. My mother. She hate me. I am human, so she hate me.
Because he was human. What did this mean?
Mother. She is not human.
Radux willingly shared his past. We were interrupted by the appearance of a monster. I told myself that I would ask Radux more after the fight.
Ask away we shall. So jack-o'-lanterns, we've actually already read the story. These were just, was it the bodies of soldiers who had fallen in battle? And the battlefield had sorcery in the ether, so it sort of absorbed them and they refused to die. And so like all the weapons and armor came together with this flame inside. Makes it look like a jack-o'-lantern. Very cool. His chest affliction looks to be causing him a great deal of pain. He's taken to trying on occasion to rip out his heart with his bare hands. I feel bad for this, I want to say kid, but he looks like an adult.
Time for fight.
That it is. Okay, he looked a little younger there actually, now that I take a look. So So I'm not going to buff myself because I want to see if I can create elemental hell. I'm assuming that the jack-o'-lantern is weak to frost. I've got a frost spear. And if you do enough elemental damage to a monster, it will cause like a hell state for them. And then I don't have it, but if I use a heat weapon afterwards, I could then burst their bubble, so to say. It's pretty cool. I like the mechanic. So let's see. So. Ouch. Actually, I should put on my heat armor. What's breakable? Okay, arms. Let's get over to the arm. It's gonna blow. Boom, he's a Teostra. Why am I locked onto you? Get out of here. Okay, so that some part is gone. Now we go to this arm. Remember, we still want to break parts because it will give us rewards, and the more unique spells that we have, the higher our intelligence will go, which is very important for unlocking new sigils. Oh, I can't seem to hit it, so let me go up high. There we go. I love this platform spell. It's so good. Oh, and he's dead. Yeah, so I am increasing my defense and my health versus increasing my attack because I'm going Divine Arm. You'll be able to change this pretty easily near the end of the game. So I really wouldn't worry too much about it. Just play however you like. If you like melee weapons or the stuff that is more neutral arm, go for that. If you like the more glass cannon type of way, go ahead and play with magic. They're very strong. I just find with Sanctuarium I can augment my power using items and good spells so that I get the boast of both worlds. Okay, moving on. Told you this would be easy.
The man had no feelings. This was the sense one got observing Radux. And with good reason. After learning of his background, it began to make sense.
Nobody wants me.
Apparently, Radux was an abandoned child. When he was very young, he was left behind in a forest. A surrogate mother took him in and raised him. His mother was a monster of the forest.
I am child of monster.
He does not comprehend it all. His life is fantastically absurd, but for him it is all he knows. Born to a human, raised by a monster. How did he find his way back to the human world?
My mother, she try kill me. So I kill her. No choice.
Her actions were contradictory. Why raise a human son only to kill him later? In any case, Radux had learned a few things since losing his mother. Monsters kill humans. Monsters are the enemy. He hated monsters because his own mother was one, and she turned on him.
I wonder why. It's fun because you can start thinking about these things narratively before you get to the conclusion. And it's interesting because sometimes you come to the same conclusion. And what I love about this game is, as dark and as sad as it is, there is a lot of hope in each of the stories. So sometimes if you look at it with a more optimistic, open mind, you can actually understand the story before they explain it, which is always nice. We did already cover spiders, so let's just go ahead and quickly clear this one. I have learned one thing about his affliction. He only claws at his chest after battle.
Time for fight.
Let's clean these guys up fast, shall we? So I'm gonna dope up here.
Kill it now. Kill it now. Must kill monsters. Kill it now.
Oh, is he hurt? Oh, he was. He shook it off, though. Good for him. A whole measly 4 points. Let's make sure we get some of these soul essences as well. We may need those later.
Job done.
There we go. Can we make it in time? I think we will. Yeah. The W here is for west. I have not been showing information on the locales because I'm going to do it in its own video once we're done with the walkthrough, unless you guys want me to do it beforehand, so let me know. But this is the western part of the world, so we get western monsters, and then there's northern monsters, eastern and southern. And by collecting X amount of shards, we'll get specific types of rumors from the shop.
It appears that Radux has never felt threatened while battling a monster. With one exception, the fight to the death with his mother. He did something that day that he was taught by no one. I imagine that the parents that abandoned him must have been sorcerers. For only this could explain his innate ability. The tragic events surrounding Radux's separation from his mother still affect him deeply. Each time he kills a monster, he is reminded of his past. What he did to his mother. The affliction of his chest is no disease. Only he does not know what to call it. And how could he? Guilt. This is what afflicts his chest.
I hope no family.
He pondered this as we were closing in on a monster. It was clearly an earnest thought.
Losing family. Not nice.
He was worried that the monsters we hunted may be survived by family. Why keep hunting monsters despite such misgivings?
Monsters kill humans.
I began to think. His mother's death had granted Radux two emotions. Her abandonment of him sparked a hatred of monsters. But at the same time, he felt guilt for killing his own mother. He was torn by these feelings. Even if he were to tear his own heart from his chest, his suffering would not be eased.
Okay, on to the carnivorous slime. We've already covered what these things are. I think we'll get a boss character probably for the next chapter, maybe? I don't know. But this one we're just going to jump in. When I consider the matter, there have been times where I've suffered the same affliction as Radux. Indeed, it is an affliction that affects all humans, a burden we all bear. A fellow sorcerer. Facing the monster before me, I heard a faint groaning. Summer was dying. Close by. Someone, not somewhere. Okay, let's go save another NPC, shall we? There's the boss right in front of us. Yeah, it's time for fight. So, who we got? Ormani. Rise from the grave. Oh, see, I mean, he's a good boy. He knows what to do. Hey, Ormani. What's up with that garb you got on? That's funky. She's like, just standing there like nothing happened. Like, okay, we're all good. So I want to get this done with Godspeed. So I'm going to get a little dopage here. And we are going to spam either spears or blood. I think we'll do spears. The gold spear and the feather are very fast for slimes. I won't even worry about breaking parts because I do not find slimes particularly enjoyable hunts. They're just kind of there. I'm going to utilize this charge attack more because I do need to get in more casts, because if I don't, then I won't be able to unlock all the sigils. That, and it's really good for just attacking at distance, breaking parts and stuff like that. Such a wide hit. It does take up a cast, but what do I care, right? There we go. So, just so we don't make Radux feel bad, this might be survived by family, so let's go ahead and save whomever it is.
Okay, bye time. Please, I beg you.
Live you shall. Girl over there wants to get revenge. Man, she's just like, kill him. Sorry. Oh, I forgot. He doesn't understand that. He probably doesn't even understand that monsters used to be human. Sorry, dude. It's a hard truth to swallow, isn't it? New spells! I'll never use them. Roars and morphs. My int must have just went up. So I just probably unlocked... I'm going to guess free packs for level 6 quests. My intelligence probably went high enough. Intelligence is really what unlocks stuff in this game, not your progression. Because they're kind of tied together. You can only get so many new spells without progressing. It's a smart way of doing it. I think Intelligence 18 is going to be the next milestone.
Radux looked despondent. His heart was in two. This was very human, odd for somebody raised by a monster. But perhaps this was exactly as his monster mother had wished. Her assault of her own son began to make sense. Human and monster cannot coexist. And claiming a life causes deep guilt. Humans required such knowledge to survive. His mother had chosen to raise Radux as a human, not a monster. For the sake of her precious son. I shared my thoughts with Radux.
My mother. Happy now?
Radux is learning to be human. A child's growth brings joy to every mother.
Okay. So, I happy too.
And the innocence of it brought warmth to the heart. Radux will grow up fine. One day, he will understand the affliction of his chest. Perhaps we will meet again and laugh about old times. Surely his mother would have wished it this way.
Well, that was a heartwarming story. I really like that one. Okay, so let me see. Did I indeed unlock 6? Yeah, I did. Look at all these new, wonderful quests to do. But we're not going to do that. Because today we're going into Sanctuarium to do the Turncoat Assassin. Let's get it on.
I have come to give you your death.
He was once counted among Avalon's most fearsome sorcerers. Aegrus, feared by all. His role within their ranks was quite specific. To stalk and kill sorcerers who violated the code. Why Avalon's blade had turned on his old masters, I know not. Within Avalon's halls, none remain who might know the man's reasons. Though his white garb suggested the rumors held some truth. It seemed Aegrus now kept company with Sanctuarium, Avalon's sworn foe. Though, for all he changed, his epithet remained the same. Still, the Mage Slayer. These days, it's Avalon's sorcerers he hunts, in Sanctuarium's name. The only difference is that his old allies curse him for a traitor as they flee. And so, as he stood before me, I thought I was to be next.
Oh wow, we're just gonna get it on with him right away, huh? Aegrus. Let's go. When you see the face of Aegrus, prepare yourself for death. This was well known amongst the sorcerers of Avalon. Those who broke the sorcerer's code must be purged, the fear of the Mage Slayer. This is how obedience to the code is upheld. Fear to control. Yeah, so again, sorcerers are very fast and nimble. Could be very hard to defeat using a variety of different weapons, but just using that phoenix feather like dash attack with something like a spear or like a melee weapon makes it so much easier.
Death is but another name for salvation.
Is that what you like to tell yourself? Is that how you sleep at night? Oh, there he is. You know what? I've never done this before. Let me show you some of the moves they can do. So every time I just go in there and I just whip on them and kick their butt. That's not fun.
It's time to put you out of your misery. The Avalon sorcerer.
Miss. Did I miss? I don't even know. Okay, we're gonna die. Because that lock-on button is screwing me up. Get out of support spell. Let's heal. That was right in time. You know what? Let's dark ride him. He deserves it. Rip out my eyeball. Juicy. Let's see if I can get close enough to him to actually hit him with the stone spells. I can't see where he is. Get back here. No, this is so hard. This is a horrible spell to use against him because he just moves around, so you really can't hit him with it. I've given up my eyeball for nothing but views. It's not a good trade-away if you ask me. Oh, I think we're hitting him. Or maybe we're not. I don't even know. I'm back here. Yeah, we're not doing nothing. That was bad. Okay, let's finish him off. My eye is impaired because I've just sacrificed my eye. That's enough playing, dude. There we go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing that. Just instead of just blowing them to pieces, it's kind of cool to see what they say and what they do during the hunt. So I know it's a fight or a pact, but I keep calling it a hunt. I can't help myself. Yeah, so now we're starting to unlock silver spells. Of course, I grinded and got some gold ones already, so that's okay. And we got the Sanguine Razor Shot. This is a new blood attack, 30 power, slash foes with a blade of blood, costs a smelt. So this is like the Gatling gun, which you may have saw in my earlier videos where I was trying to introduce blood and this game to everybody. It's a fun spell.
But he was hesitant, and that spoke volumes. He said he would end my life, yet I felt no enmity from him. He was toying with me, surely. I questioned him immediately, and received an odd reply.
Salvation lies in death alone. It falls on me to show you.
Anything to do with sacrifice is repellent to Sanctuarium. The taking of life should be kept to a minimum, they say.
Hear my tale, and you will welcome death's embrace. Till then, I'd welcome company on the road.
I had no reason to follow. But still, curiosity compelled me. Why had Sanctuarium marked me for death? Why was he waiting to strike? And why should this Mage Slayer speak of salvation? It seemed he was a walking contradiction. Sanctuarium's rules on sacrifice see to it that only a select few of its members are allowed to kill. And even then, the act must serve to advance their lofty goal of world salvation. That determination rests solely in the hands of Sanctuarium's leader, Lenixian. A familiar name. But I knew her better as Sympather, the alias she gave when we traveled side by side.
Linuxian has ordered that death be bestowed upon you.
We were companions. At our road's end, we had parted with a smile. Why then ask for my death now? Stranger than the order was the man she chose to execute it. While in Avalon's employ, he spared no words for those he sacrificed. He was their paragon, embodying all they stood for. And now this hardened killer asked his target to travel by his side?
Come, let us save that beast.
Surely no assassin ever spoke so frequently of salvation. He was quite the contrarian.
Bizarre. Another slime. I can't stand these slimes. Let me see if I can put on a new spell just so I can spice and stuff up for you guys. I will show you. Let's see here. Let's conjure the blacksmith. That could be fun. And let's also... let me show you that. You've seen blood spells before. This is a stone fist. Actually, I'll use the Chthonian's one for that. What else can I show you that's cool and new? Actually, throws are going to be good. I've shown them before, but I do quite like them. So let me do that. Here, I just want to show you guys some good variety of stuff, you know? I'm going to switch over to Infernus. Gorgon is really tough to use. Let's see if I can fuse any stuff here. Let's go into Fusion. Go over to Fusible by Sort. Go to Unmade Offerings. This will give me a list of everything I don't have. If I recognize it, I might accidentally be making something that I've already had before, but it's no big deal. It's not like I'm missing out on anything big. Well, there's one in there that was new. That's good. So what else do we have here? So if you notice, we have unlocked the ability to earn Puncture Sigil 2. We will have to kill and get the sort of plus drop from Werewolf and also Cyclops. Ugh, Cyclops. We'll have to get life essences for those. Do we have a second one from Blood? So if you notice, blood exists in both Avalon and Sanctuarium, but the Sanctuarium blood is just so much better, which you'll understand why later on. What do I need for this one? Oh, only one life essence from the Zebra. Can I even get that though? Because we fought her and she ran away. Maybe we'll get the Facer in the next story chapter. That would make sense. That's when we should be starting to get the Sigil 2s, timing-wise. Let's not worry about this stuff. I think we're more than fine and powerful. Let's go kill a slime. Monsters must be sacrificed. So it is written in the code, and with good reason. Even if you save a man who has been turned into monster, he will be possessed by the same needs. And they say the same mistakes are bound to be repeated. The act of purging is necessary, for it shows to the world the depth of the sin. Okay.
Let death be their salvation.
Let's try to get this over as fast as we can. Only just because it's a slime. These are like the most basic of monsters that they put at the beginning of some chapters. Luckily the free packs barely have them, so you don't have to worry about them too much. What do we have here? So let's go and check out these new spells. So you may have missed this one that I used in the other video, but this is the stone shards. This is very cool. I also want to try a new build just using these. It would be fun one day. Target specific spots and just go crazy. Psh. Let's go after his leg. I mean, this is not a leveled up spell or anything. It's just bronze. Can we at least break the leg using it or no? Slimes, so resilient. Yeah, I don't know. So let me try this one. This is the Cyclops one. I hit myself with it. Oh, that is so funny. Oh, that is so funny. Then let's use this one here. Ooh, Pillars of Fire. I like that. Let's get in close and use that, shall we? Fire! Death to all! We learned that it's weak to fire. Okay, we should save him. Otherwise, I don't want the... Oh, we don't even get the choice. He's telling us already. You're just along for the ride. This thing's being saved. Completed. You get a good rating? Yes, we did. Lots of new stuff. Ooh, my int has reached 16. Again, 18 I think is going to be the next milestone. Stone Fist Magic. And it said that we unlocked Defender 2, so I'm going to check that out once we get past this story part.
Compassion unto all creatures. Such is Lenixian's creed. I watched her practice it with my own eyes. And now that Avatar of Mercy seeks my death. I would be lying if I claimed to understand. In the end, my curiosity won out. I agreed to join this mad journey to find out her true intent. But she wasn't the leader of a band of heretics to me. Then, as now, she remains Sympatha. My partner in the ordeal. Like the partner within my arm. Thoughts of her always dredge up memories of the past.
Do you know the likelihood of a monster, once saved, becoming a fiend once more?
He made his offer.
Half. The flip of a coin.
By Aegrus's telling, Avalon has actively suppressed that fact.
Would you call this bitter draught A cup half empty, or a cup half full? The sorcerer's code is rotten with hypocrisy.
He spoke as if to himself, his eyes fixed upon his own arm.
By the code, all monsters are sacrificed to quash the threat of only half. Its adherents practice a blithe genocide, ignorant of the truth. And I had believed the code would bring order to the world.
I truly believed it a necessary evil. Accepted it as gospel.
The monsters I save were born of my own hand.
A loud crash echoed out some distance before us. A monster. These last days' travel have shown me something. The fiends Aegrus hunts all bear the same form. Doppelgangers. Several causes can give rise to their kind. Chief among them is injury by a monster. The infection spreads from the wound, turning those nearby. Like any plague, when the source is left alone, it's quick to spread. The evil behind the fiends we faced was one he knew well.
It was me.
The smile he wore was thick with irony as he marched towards the creature he himself had spawned.
Ooh, that's deep. I'm curious, because I don't believe we get a resolute answer here, and it kind of differs by person, but let's consider that Avalon has told everybody that almost all monsters, when saved and revert back to human, become monsters again. So it's better to just purge them from the world. Let's say that what Sanctuarium says is true, that half of them do and half of them don't. Is it worth killing all the monsters to just try to save the world? Or is it better to save all of them knowing that half of them are going to be redeemed? Let me know your comments down below. Okay, another slime. You have glimpsed Aegrus' right arm. Even now, the arm is stained black with his deeds. Even now, he can turn into a monster. In Aegrus' words, a trace of self-mockery. My crimes are too great to ever be atoned for, he says.
Let death be their salvation.
Okay, well, as long as it died once, they should be redeemed. We're gonna make this one go by fast since I showed you the spells last time.
till a few months ago. I was a monster myself.
The revelation came as a shock to me.
These things are oft kept in the shadows.
Small wonder. It wouldn't do for people to hear a faithful adherent to the code had become a monster. Such inconvenient truths are erased by the upper tiers of Avalon, he explained. And the one responsible for saving him after his transformation, Lenixian herself. Still, it made no sense. How could Avalon's paragon fall so low? By his account, it was strict adherence to the code.
The code may save the world, but it does precious little for the one following it.
The price of a long career of sacrificing had pushed Aegrus's right arm to its limits. Yet still, the orders to kill continued. He did as Avalon bid, and so it was he too became a fiend. The next victim, appointed by his superiors, was none other than Aegrus himself. He came to realize. He had slain countless monsters in Avalon's name. How many of those had been his colleagues once, used as pawns, then thrown away? He swore revenge on Avalon. Swore to expose the code for its hypocrisy. And so the Mage Slayer lives on, traitor and nemesis to his former cause.
I will be killing you before long. But before we come to that...
He stopped. There was something he wanted to ask me. Why did I agree to come with him?
I told you, come with me, and you're sure to die. Odd. You're the first to face death with such composure.
He wasn't the only one troubled. I'd had my own doubts since our first meeting, since I saw the price he bore in his right arm. Despite his words, Aegrus was yet to make his move. Or perhaps it was that he couldn't. Upon hearing that he had been a fiend, my growing doubts gave way to certainty. He could not still be the Mage Slayer he once was. Were he to persist in sacrificing sorcerers now, his fate would be certain. He'd have reverted to his monstrous form by now. My crimes are too grave to be wiped clean by a brief penance. Are the words that came from his mouth.
You're sharp. I can see why you'd be one of Lenixian's favorites.
Judging by his response, it seemed my suspicions were correct. He confessed that he had not taken a single life since joining Sanctuarium.
Death is escape for some. For others, Escape just looks like death.
As we spoke, our final quarry appeared before us.
You may find death at this journey's end, and salvation within it.
For all its contradictions, I now saw the true meaning of his words.
Alright, final monster, Cat Sith. Fun fact, I believe in the original Soul Sacrifice, it was called Kaith Sith, which is the original name. My guess is someone at Sony probably said, uh-oh, there's a character in Final Fantasy called Kaith Sith, we should probably change this. And so they changed it. There was once a small kingdom, and in it lived a mischievous prince. He was the apple of his parents' eye, and no luxury was spared on him. The prince, however, felt nothing but pressure from their lavish attention. He took every chance to slip away from the dull, old castle and down into the city, for it was freedom alone that he craved. The city folk knew his face well, though, so it was never long before he was discovered and whisked back home. On one such day, the prince was walking the city's back alleys when he found a small kitten. After feeding the animal on whim, the prince found the young cat followed him. Not long after, he was spotted by a guard and returned to the castle. That evening, he heard the crying of a cat from outside his bedchamber window. He opened the glass and peered down to find the same cat he'd fed, waiting for him below. The boy lifted the kitten up in his arms and brought it inside. He desperately wanted some respite from the boring existence doled out to him. From that day on, the prince kept the cat in secret. Of course, a mere cat would not provide the dramatic change he sought, but he had wanted a conversation partner, and the kitten provided a patient listener. Better yet, the boy could vent all of his frustrations, even those unfit for human ears. Things like, "I wish I'd never been born a prince." For as long as the prince spoke, the kitten sat still, looking at the boy's hand. It was as if the beast was offering a reassuring caress. Before long, the prince came to notice something as he gazed upon his pet. He envied the kitten. It was free to live as it chose, and the boy so longed to be. The curious pair's secret friendship continued for a spell, until the day what the boy feared above all else came to pass. The king was struck down by a sudden illness. From his deathbed, the monarch spoke, "I cede my throne to my son, the prince." The prince shut himself inside his room, head clutched in his hands. "I have no desire to rule. I never wanted the throne." His thoughts were interrupted by a soft licking at his hand. "If I could be reborn, I wish to be as you, my little friend." Shocking, is it not, that a royal heir to the most enviable social status would find himself envious of a lowly cat? As if in echo, a strange voice rang out. Before the boy king, a curious white chalice appeared. The object spoke. "Offer up a fitting sacrifice, and you should have your wish." Despite the strangeness of the sight before him, the prince knew the words to be true. If he obeyed, he would be free. The boy searched around him for an offering. At his side sat the cat, still loyally lapping at his hand. The same cat that had listened ever faithfully to all the boy's woes, that has always been there to comfort him. The sacrifice needed to be something of equal value to his wish. Only by giving up something of equal worth could he win his freedom. How long the battle raged within his conscience, if at all, only for the boy king could say. But in the end, he offered up his small companion. Instantly, a change overtook the boy's body. Cat's fur spouted from his skin, cat's fangs from his jaw, cat's claws from his fingertips. He had been reborn just as he asked. His body felt light, as if he could sprint for leagues and never tire. This was proof of the freedom he grasped. The former prince unlatched the window and leapt out at night. As the night breeze caressed his cheek, he realized that he could feel tears tracked down his face. A faint sense of loss crept into his mind, but he did not know why. This feeling, too, vanished by the time his tears dried. There was no one to tie him down. He gave a fearsome roar of joy up to the moon. They say no citizen of that kingdom ever saw their prince again. Well, I mean, obviously I can't understand him. I was never born a prince, but I could certainly understand where he'd be coming from with this. So, I like this prince. I don't think he's... I mean, he's horrible for sacrificing his cat, yes. Maybe he could have found other solutions, but in this world, probably not. Okay, let's go get Cat... Oh, whoa, 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 what am I doing? I almost forgot. Cat Sith is very hard to reach. Okay, this will be fine. I have the Mole Claw. Usually what people like to do is use that platform spell to get up really high, so you can hit it. That would probably be the better choice here, because we're not going to use this to zip around. Like, that's going to be really hard to do, especially against this monster, unless we just want to kill it really fast, but we want to break its parts. So let's go ahead and bring a platform with us. He uses the name of Mage Slayer to stage deaths. They are not true deaths, but they are an end to their sorcerer days. So he goes around and he kills people, so to say, so that publicly they're known as dead, so that they can like live a free life, but technically he didn't kill them, he just let them go free. Sounds like a good deal to me. Keep up that facade, my friend. Keep it up. The cathedral map. We'll get used to this one. This offers the second best blood spell in the game. Of course, I don't think this is gold. This is silver. But Cat Sith's claws are really good. Very good power cost ratio. Problem is you have to break every part in order for it to drop 100%. Otherwise, it's just a very rare drop, which could get kind of annoying really fast. So let's go ahead and buff up. I'm going to put on the mole for now. Yeah, let me platform and use blood. That seems like it might be a good strategy. This thing runs away constantly, so it's very hard to lock down. Okay, let's use the mole. Let's lock onto the monster. This allows us to sort of get in the inside so we can hit its back and stuff. People find this monster quite annoying because it's so hard to lock down. I don't mind it so much, even though the ghost, which is pretty much like a different species of it, I'm not a fan of. There you go. It's a lucent Nargacuga. Stay still, man. Cat. Name. Prince. Okay, it looks like our spear is going up to the back, so that's good. We'll just keep that up. You can tell we're hitting the cursed part because of the blood effect that you get. It's very nice. Oh, I hate that spell. Let me quick heal. I should really just bring a healing spell with me. It would make my life a lot easier. Heal up. Again, this is why I recommend bringing an actual heal spell and not using the trees. Armor up. Okay, I've got a final idea. I'm going to use the claws. Get behind it. Up on the platform and claw.
Take a moment to recover.
I don't think that's hitting the breakable part. Abandoned idea. Oh, and he's almost dead too. This is not good. So let me try using the mole. He's such a pain. I'm just gonna go for it. Wait, what am I doing? I don't want to create a platform. I want an armor. Come on. Break. Yes! We got it, and it's probably gonna die in like the next big shot that we do. Oh, that's great. Yes! We did it. See how hard that is? There's probably a much easier way, and I just don't know it. But this is good. We got the claws. I'm very happy about that. Now we can go blood build soon. Blood is great. Alright. It was sloppy, but I don't mind. We got what we wanted. Yes. That's what we wanted. The Princeling's Claw. See, if you didn't read the lore, you would not know that this was a prince. So awakens the magic of the cat Sith to shred foes with vicious claws. 60 attack power, unlimited blood attack, and it's doesn't take a whole lot of health out of you versus the damage output it has. It's a great weapon. Fantastic.
He made his offer.
Should you wish it, I can kill you here and now. You will be free of the code. Free to live a normal life.
Such was the salvation this assassin preached. I doubt many sorcerers would be eager to return to Avalon after hearing of Aegrus's past. But how to free them of it? False death serves as well as the real thing to sever one's ties. And even Avalon has better things to do than hunt the dead. This was a chance to wash clean the slate, to begin anew. Death as a sorcerer in exchange for true freedom. It made perfect sense. Then this was a gift from Sympather to me.
Should you wish it?
I could almost hear her voice as the words echoed in my mind. This explained why Aegrus had offered me a choice from the outset. And yet, not without regret, I shook my head no.
Why not?
He solemnly inquired. To my eyes, he seems a man still trapped by the code. The grudge he bears, legitimate as it is, binds him. By comparison, it is a matter of far less consequence to me.
Then, why keep up the fight?
It was the woman in my arm I heard. My partner guides me, so I fight on. I live now for something far greater than the code. So I must say no. Aegrus shook his head, giving a wry smile.
You are the first man I failed to give his death. Perhaps we're similar creatures, you and I. Both of us captive to something. Should you ever wish to meet your death as a sorcerer, send for me.
He smiled earnestly.
I will deliver your salvation swift and true. It would be my pleasure.
See, that one's another heartwarming story. So this game is not all depression. Those are really nice. And these are two fantastic characters. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think now we are going on to level 5. So Fading Humanity seems like a very good choice for the next video to do. I'm hoping we can run into Elisibra again because, well, one, she's Elisibra, and two, I really want to get that life essence from her so I can get that blood sigil. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy hunting.